this morning, right? We are here this morning. We are enjoying this community and this time together. I have to cut out right after the talk because I have a gig that I got to get to. So Clark will complete the festivities and the frivolity. But let's start by saying our opening affirmation on the top of page 4, to come together in consciousness. And it says, we believe that there is an infinite power and wisdom that creates everything. We are expressions of this same power and wisdom. The thoughts, beliefs, and expectations we entertain with the most energy. When we change our energy and our attention, our experience changes to match. And a couple of announcements. We have no birthdays on the list. Anybody birthday in it other than Bob was yesterday? That's all right. Yeah, happy birthday to you. Today we are celebrating Daniel Fahrenheit, who had a temperature. Tommy Chong, who self-induced. Robert Zimmerman. Y'all know that guy, right?
Hey, Bob.
Hey, Bob Dylan. That's right. Presley Nell Campbell, who was from Rocky Horror, Columbia, wasn't it? Who she was? Yeah, Columbia. Roseanne Cash and John C. Riley, one of my favorite funny guys. The book study group is going to start again soon. Does anybody have a copy of Troward's Creative Process in the Individual? Okay. We'll order some, but I just want to make sure everybody didn't already have it, and we order a bunch and we don't need them. So that'll start in a few weeks. Just pay attention to that. And now I'd like to invite Clark to come up and do an opening reading and treatment. This is for people with me.
Do I have your attention now? It's okay. The reading today is from Melody Beatty, or Beatty. And she says, gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and more. It can turn a meal into a feast, a house into a home, and a stranger into a friend. So let's go within and know that we are expressing a power and wisdom as we just stated. And this indwells us. It is our right mind in action. And this presence within us is a gift. It gifts itself of its substance. It is our good, our defense, our life-sustaining energy. It is our identity. It is our form. Just as all form expresses the Creator, Spirit, existing in multiple vibrations of energy. Matter is mind in action and creation. And this creation is what we bring to the quality of our lives and those of others. And its love, it's all of its qualities, its substantive qualities are ours as well. For we are it and it is us. And so I give thanks for this truth of our being. I give thanks for the power of our word. its energy, moving the energy of law for a specific purpose. Our power. So I give thanks for all the laws and action upon this word, all our word, whether we are conscious of them or not. But we are, and we work constantly. What we give it is reflected back, corresponded to. So I release this word with that knowing that it is now law and demonstrating as the effect of cause, manifested as our experience here and now. So let us say together, and so it is now. Thank you so much. And now I would like to introduce our musical guest for today, Mr. Lee Barber.
Yay.
All right.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Good to see you over here. It's nice. I'm gonna play a song called "The Broken Cup." It's about a place of refuge, much like this. Batten down the hatches, boy. A storm is blowing through. All hail the valiant engineer. All hail this ragged crew. In the morning there'll be signal flags, chrome, yellow, red, and blue. Come on down to the Broken Cup. We will all wait there for you. Tell everybody in this fleet. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Let us meet. The old crow rattles from his hollow chest. With his peg leg and his chain, see that the captain doesn't fall when he bends in to speak again. Well, I hear tell it's just as well if a storm cloud follows you. Go on down to the Broken Cup. We will all wait there for you. The far end of this street. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Let us meet. Look for the girl with the sawtooth smile and a voice like glowing coal. She sings that song about going home where the rippling waters flow. Petals fall down from her lips, velvet petals on a pine wood floor. Let me see your face again. I won't ask anymore. Tell everybody in this fleet. Tell everybody. tell everybody, let us meet. Batten down the hatches, boys, a storm is blowing through. All hail the valiant engineer, all hail this ragged crew. In the morning there'll be signal flags, chrome, yellow, red and blue. Tonight we're down at the Broken Cup, and we're waiting here for you. Thank you all. Thank you all. It's a real pleasure. I'll bring this with me.
It's real now. All right. I wanted to share with you that I bought an Ego. I did. It was on sale for about $424, and out the door is a little over $480. So quite the bargain, yeah. And I've been enjoying the more modern design, the more efficient operation of it, and it does a much better job than my old one did. You know, it really does. Did I mention that it's an electric lawnmower?
And it's easier to start.
It's easier.
Battery doesn't use fuel, and you don't get gas on your hand.
And I like the idea of pushing my ego around the yard instead of having it push me around. So there's that. All right. This morning we continue our pattern recognition series that we started last week. And we're exploring the expansiveness and appreciating the expansiveness that always follows a expansion of our perspective and our paradigms. Last week we looked at the power and the transformation that results from pattern recognition, and this week I want to make it more personal for each and every one of us. We are hardwired to pay attention and recognize patterns so that we can make sense out of our environment and we can figure out our place in it and improve our efforts along the way. So we're hardwired for personal growth. And I think if you look back at our collective history, we can agree that that theory holds up fairly well. And I can certainly seem like at times we're not getting anywhere. At certain times it feels like we're moving backwards, right? Yeah. But that impatience is only our innate desire for growth, clamoring for our intention and involvement in what's going on currently. Because we're hardwired to observe and adjust and improve upon what we're doing. So the real question becomes, why do we want to improve? More intimately and more importantly, why do you want to improve? And I want you to take 30 seconds right now to really reflect upon that question. Not to meditate and veg out and think about what you're going to do after this, but really spend these 30 seconds ruminating upon, why do I want to grow and improve? Okay, that's close enough to 30 seconds. What? This is not a rhetorical question. This is me asking you, why do you want to grow and improve?
Kind of all I could get to was, it feels better.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to think, then why does it feel better? And I think maybe I'm able to more effectively get what I want. But I'm not as clear about that as just, it feels better.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Okay.
I'm having more fun if I'm growing and improving than if I'm not.
Mine is to have a fuller life.
A fuller life, okay.
A more varied
Very good. Anybody else?
Deeper understanding.
Deeper understanding. Okay, good. All good.
Because I know there's more. There's just more.
There's just more.
Even though I'm enough, there's more.
Glenda, believe me, Glenda, you are enough. You are quite enough. But there's always more. You're right, right. And that's for me. When I sat with this for this week, I thought myself, I have a knowing, a sense that there's a lot more to me than I've accessed so far, right? And recognizing that I'm 67 years into this round of accessing whatever I am, I realize it's kind of time to get going if I'm going to get going, right? But when I extrapolate that out as to why I'm doing it, it comes back to my current answer for a lot of things lately. Ultimately, I want to grow for peace of mind. The answers are going to be different for all of us, but there's going to be some similarity to the answers as well. And a lot will depend upon what we're currently processing and navigating, because our most pressing growth needs are the ones that are in front of us now, right? The most recent ones. So how do we grow personally? How do we most effectively and efficiently grow in the most in the shortest amount of time? And good questions like that are inevitably followed by other good questions. Like, what do I need to adjust first to facilitate my personal growth? Because it's in the observation of what is that we can more intelligently access and direct and adjust what we're doing, how we're approaching life, and the limitations, become aware of the limitations of our current paradigm. But most importantly, it's how we assess the most important intelligent reallocation of our currently available resources. Because we always have what we need when we need it to do whatever we desire the most. And it's that heartfelt desire, that longing for something that will shift whatever needs to be shifted within us in our approach and our engagement of whomever is before us in this moment. So personal growth is a good thing. I think it's a great thing. I think it's the greatest thing we can invest our time, energy, attention, and resources into, because it pays the largest dividends for us. Yeah, it brings a sense of accomplishment. Great. It brings a sense of achievement. Great. It brings a sense of empowerment. Yeah, that's great too. And all that ultimately brings us, my current answer to most things I'm finding, peace of mind, right? But it also establishes a solid foundation upon which we can build or launch into our next grand adventure. For with each successive step we take in our growth, we elevate our perspective, and we can start to see beyond our current paradigm into all that the infinite universe has to offer us. And we start to recognize that our growth, it doesn't just benefit us, it benefits all those around us as well. And we'll get into more of that next week in our next installment. Our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes, shares, all thought is creative, and that thought creates according to the nature and conviction behind the thought. All thought is creative. So we live in a spiritual universe of law, of intelligence, of cause, effect, consciousness, and expression. And that means our repeated thoughts matter. That means our repeated beliefs, our emotions, our inner conversations matter. Because repeated enough, those things become our beliefs, our paradigms, our expectations. Now, we have normalized a lot of things that are not spiritually true. They have just become familiar, right? And personal growth starts with an awareness of what is, how we are, and what and how we're doing. And it also starts with an honest assessment of what is, as I've said, followed by a long enough pause to reflect and consider what else is possible, accompanied by an honest assessment of the beliefs and behaviors we identify that limit our vision, our expressions, and our imagination. And the absolute best way to take that assessment and the absolute best way to be able to pause and reflect more deeply is regular spiritual practice. There you go. Yeah, that again. Okay? And that's keeps coming around because a regular spiritual practice is the best and quickest way to not only know what is, but also identify our habitual patterns that serve us so we can work on expanding them and then help us identify the patterns that no longer serve us, perchance the patterns that have never served us. Henry Van Dyke shares, as long as habit and routine dictate the pattern of living, new dimensions of the soul will not emerge. You're going to keep doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to keep getting the same results. Right. So let's be honest. Many of us have had some very small and scared, outdated versions of ourselves steering this vehicle we're driving. Right? And until we can step back and get enough perspective, a wide enough view, and start to see that there are other possibilities, other tangents, other connections, we start to realize how we got where we got. How we got how we got. Until we do that, we'll be left attending the school of hard knocks. And I don't know about you, I'm not paying any more tuition to that damn place. Okay? We've all spent way too much time there. We have to remind ourselves there's a whatever we're doing, there's a smarter and a better way to do it. Now, marketers will come in and ply us with offers that hand over some of our resources, but the best they can really do is help us try a different way. And believe me, there's nothing wrong with seeking and accepting help, but ultimately we already know what we need to have and what we need to know to grow. Because we have our personal experience, something a marketer can never give you. We have our personal past and our previous efforts and a perspective that no one else can offer us in quite the same way we can understand it. And yes, we can benefit from the experience of others that are a little further than out on us on the yield learning curve. But our most profound and sustainable growth happens and dawns upon us when we're working on ourselves and adjusting our efforts in real time. Now, I say working on ourselves, and everybody thinks, I got enough work already. Because at times, our personal growth is the most amazing and fluid and graceful expansion from here to there, and this to that. Beautiful thing, just unfolds naturally. And other times, I'm going kicking and screaming. And still other times, we seem to be catapulted way, way, way forward, much faster than we think we're ready. But there is a way. There is always a way. There is growth available to us as we think the things and as we do the things that keep us available to the growth and expansion inherent in all of life. The growth and expansion inherent in each and every situation. And sometimes it can seem like hard work because of our resistance to change. But mainly I notice it becomes hard for me because I get biased that I know the right way. And I'm going to do it my way. Right? Even when I've been choosing the harder path over and over and over again. It can seem hard because my ego does not want to admit that I've chosen things and I have been absolutely convinced of my choice and still ended up going off in the proverbial ditch. I know nobody else enlightened enough to be here this morning would ever, but it's a hypothetical. Richard Rohr shares, if we do not transform our pain, we will most assuredly transmit it. Yeah. See, we can learn we can discern patterns in our behavior. And we can start to interrupt those patterns without having to let it play all the way out. Oh my God, there it goes again. Well, guess what? If you can recognize it, you can interrupt it. Maybe it's just a little bit, Quit laughing. You get triggered and you notice it within 10 minutes instead of within 10 hours. You still feel afraid, but you don't let the fear make the decision for you. You still hear that old inner critic yammering away, but I didn't hand the microphone over to it and relinquish it. We must remind ourselves and each other that no matter what is or isn't going according to our preferences, there's a way to grow beyond, around, or through whatever is or isn't going on. And that is really the beauty and the power and the promise of reminding ourselves of the infinite nature of life. And as expressions of that infinite life, the infinite nature of our life. Right here, right now, we are living, we are expressing in the midst of infinite life. And that gives us a lot of more elbow room to twist and shout and move about and try new and amazing things that shift our tangent just enough to get us going in a new and amazing way into greater living. Holmes goes on, he shares, the key to right thinking and right living is the steady affirmative pattern of thought that only God's good enters your life. A steady pattern of thought is a paradigm, right? Really. And we can develop a paradigm that says only good enters my life. Why not? We develop every other paradigm we come up with and live in. Why not choose that one? And as Bob pointed out, it feels good to get better at things. It does. You get a little dopamine or whatever the thing is that it gives us, right? When we get a little more proficient and capable at things that matter to us. We're impelled to grow and keep growing, so we develop some semblance of proficiency in our efforts, and we get to enjoy a sense of control. Not ego control that's going to dominate nefariously, but just a sense of adeptness, a confidence, whilst processing and navigating our way through whatever comes before us. And the more we feel that confidence, the more we feel that proficiency, like anything else, the more we expect to feel it again. And the more discomfort and reallocation of resources we'll employ to feel it again. But behind all that, the base core reason we're impelled to grow and keep growing is so we experience peace of mind. And I'm really starting to see how that one thing really drives so many of our desires and efforts. And the cool thing to realize about peace of mind is that it's not some final destination or future nirvana only to be experienced after years of hard, grueling effort. It's achieved a little bit at a time. A little bit here, a little bit there, and added to it. And the more often we experience it, the more often we appreciate it at whatever level we experience it, the more benefit in this moment and the more discomfort we will endure to get that fix again. We will. James Baldwin shares, not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it is faced. See, we get better at our expressions by observing repetition, objectively observing it. And we start to see the patterns of things that work. Okay. And we start to see the patterns of things that don't work. Okay, too. And we start to see evidence of the divine in everything and everyone when we get past the ego's need to feel some sense of dominance. We start to see the pattern of divine design all around us, and we start to let it resonate of the divine within us. And we realize that our personal growth isn't so much about adding stuff and activities to our to-do list. It's about remembering and realizing we already have and we already are divine. We start to recognize patterns in our thinking and our behaviors and our reactions and our relationships. And we start to recognize patterns in our worries and our doubts and our fears. And I'll tell you, man, once you can see the pattern, you are no longer trapped inside it because you have some perspective, some reminder that there's another possibility. Because awareness is the beginning of freedom. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. And we grow so that we can grow to affirm, I am here to awaken to a larger pattern, the divine pattern within and around me. I'm figuring that out. Holmes goes on, he shares, life can become a glorious adventure, increasingly filled with more of every good thing as we gradually or suddenly come to change our pattern of thinking so that it embraces more of those good things. So this week, I encourage you to pause for a moment or 17 and honestly assess what is or what isn't going according to your preferences. Just kind of get an assessment, a gauge, a state of the union, as they say. Not for the purpose of self-flagellation. We're all done enough of that. Just be an objective scientist gathering data for relevant use. Okay? To help you more intelligently choose which things, which beliefs, which expectations to adjust, and which ones to dismantle and renovate, and which ones just to kick to the curb. But man, you don't need years and years and years of study to be able to identify and adjust what's going on. You already have years, most of us decades, of observation of what we've been doing, which is always the effect of a previous cause of our thinking, belief, and expectations. You already know what worked. You already know what didn't work. And you got it, and you already know what at least got you headed in the general direction you wanted to go in. You've all experienced the good, the bad, the ugly. And now you can know enough to choose the absolute best you can with what's in front of you right here, right now. And you've gained a lifelong wisdom, that lifelong expertise. And man, that's come to each of us at a great price. It has. But you've already paid enough dues to be here, and you don't have to work from the paradigm that there's more dues to be paid along the way. You know what you need to know, so you can do what you need to do, so you can go where you need to go, and you can show up how you need to show up. And that helps you identify yourself as someone with something valuable to add into the mix, which encourages you to add it to the mix and add it more often. That makes a better experience for you, a more joyful experience for you, and when you add the best of yourself into the collective mix, that makes it better for all of us around you. And so it is now. So it is now. I think that's it. I'm going to go that far. I can go that far. As long as you're over that way. All right. Let's look at our weekly affirmation, which is on the top of page 6. It's also on the little card by the front door if you're interested in that delivery method. And let's say it together. It says, there are lots of patterns in my life, both around and within me. I choose to interrupt any pattern that no longer serves me with something new and completely different. I observe what is and consider what else is possible, knowing I am free to start that new experience now. All right. Let's give ourselves the gift of our good attention. We take the moment, maybe take a deep breath or two, or close your eyes, or reposition your physical form to just know this truth about yourself. That there is a divine idea of you, both cosmically in the universe and individually within you, that has been developed through repeated patterns of what you believe to be true about yourself, what you've allowed other people to convince you is true about you, what you've personally experienced along the way. That blend comes into be a delicious mix of who you are, how you are, where you are, how you're showing up, what you're able to contribute in the way that only you can contribute it. And we start to see that there are tons of patterns in our life, in all different areas, showing up because of the patterns of our thought, the patterns of our belief, the patterns of our expectations and our emotions that fuel our actions and our repeated actions, because they are a lot of times just familiar, not serving us, but just something that we know how to do or when to do it. We recognize that we can recognize a pattern that no longer serves us and interrupt it and replace it with something new and completely different anytime we so choose. We start to observe what is and see the repeated patterns there, and we start to see the correlation between the repeated patterns in our beliefs and our expectations. And we start to know that whatever is not going according to our preferences, there's another possibility available to us right here, right now. And we're free to start that new experience anytime we so choose. We love this wonderful teaching and all the ways it shows up in our lives and allows us to remember the spiritual principles of life that are at work in every aspect of our experience and our expression. We love and appreciate this wonderful community of like-minded individuals that love and support each other in ways we get to do that. And we love this beautiful time together this morning, this beautiful life, and this beautiful space to meet in that facilitate this activity, which feeds each and every one of us spiritually and dynamically alters our trajectory in a positive way so that we can move out of here with what happens in here and affect in a positive way all that happens from here on out. Loving this and accepting it with deep joy and gratitude, we celebrate this time together, we celebrate this activity this morning, and we celebrate life. It's all good, and we love it completely as we release it and let it be so, as we say together. And so it is now. All right. All right. And now Lee's going to come up and do a couple of more songs. Are you playing anywhere we can come see you play? Okay. This is our one chance to see, so I'm glad we're here today. Yeah.
We got it, yay.
All right. All right. Well, while he gets set up, I'm going to ask a favor. If you, since I'm not going to be here, if y'all could help put things back the way they were when we walked in the door, we appreciate it. Let's start by saying our time, get ready for the time we support this wonderful work we're doing together, take the value we receive from the world for the value we bring to the world, and pass that along with appreciation and love. We say our giving affirmation, and it says, divine love consecrates my gifts. They go forth to heal, to bless, and to prosper. They are evidence of my commitment, and they do their good and perfect work and return to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is now. All right. Thank you.
All right. So, I think I'm gonna take y'all on a trip to a little, like a country funeral, inspired by my grandmother. It's called A Picture of Evelyn. I stumbled on a picture of Evelyn. She'd put with a piece of tape across her face. So I pulled it off to see what was underneath. Well, I was looking through a shoebox, you know, with photos. She must have been a little bit embarrassed. She'd forgotten her teeth. But how about those babies? Lord, they sure do look fine. All sandy from summer, wrapped up in her arms. She was the oldest of four, born in 1903. Strong as Jerusalem, she'd outlived her man. With them funky old farm boots, all covered with clay. A trip to the Holy Land just a few miles away. So driver, drive slow, she's the last one to go. She's climbing that hill up the red dirt road. And there's old Robert Sykes. He's got the mind of a child, standing at attention in a ditch by the road. It's an apron of bluebirds blown high by the wind, a porcelain doorknob thrown into a pin. For all us simple-minded humans to sit on and pray. Lord, help us get ready for that beautiful day. Little Martha, my dear, it's another school year. Great-grandmother's gone, but she's really still here. A little Martha, my love, it's so dark out tonight. Don't the crack in my windshield make a ribbon of light? All right. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much. All right. Well, it's nice to be here. I came here once before with my friend Shawnee. You all know her. And this is a song that if she were here, I'd get her to sing on the chorus. But you're welcome to. The lightning flashed and the thunder cracked. The wind did howl and the doors flew back. Fish almost drowned in a pool last night. It rained all night long. If you see Judah P. in the mud and the brine, don't stand in his way, don't you trouble his mind. He'll be filling his bucket on through supper time. It rained all night long. All night long. All night long. All night, all right, it rained all night long. Rain dripping down off the brim of my hat. I stepped to Miss Mary's back door and went tap, tap, tap. I held out my cup and she filled it up. It rained all night long. Well, the water rose up fast in that hole in the ground. Some got back, you know, some went down. They were too tired to swim, but too far to turn around. It rained all night long. All night long. All night long. There it is. All night, all right. It rained all night long. Let's do it again. All night long. Children, all night long, all night, all right, it rained all night long. One more, all night long, all night long, all night, all right, it rained all night long. Well, we're getting there all night long. It's good, it's good. All night long. All night, all right, it rained all night long. Well, the lightning flashed and the thunder cracked. The wind did howl and the doors flew back. Fish almost drowned in a pool last night. It rained all night long. Thank you all so much.
Thank you for joining this week.
Yeah, pleasure.
Let's give him another hand, shall we? Please. All right, that was wonderful. So, we are at our moments of gratitude. And I'll start out by just saying, damn, I have a lot of patterns. Well, yes, I am. But what I'm most grateful for is my one and only love's understanding. Josephine, I apologize, for any times that my patterns have dominated in a not so serving way. Okay? But I do know that every time I recognize these things, I grow a little more. I grow a little more in the direction that I would prefer to grow. And then it happens again. so I have to grow again. And it's kind of a looping thing, but it's proportional to what I can give up, okay? And the more I can give up, the more I can open to what I need to have, to be just ever more loving, ever more abiding, understanding. So yay for the recognition, yay for the possibilities of growth, and I'll just leave it right there, okay? So who else might have something they're grateful for?
Well,
Yes.
I do.
Okay.
I'm grateful I'm here. And
So are we.
surrounded by y'all, and it was a very special service. And I
Mhm.
really enjoyed Lee singing.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just being out and about and not homesick with allergies.
Yes.
I mean, when
That's a
you're
blessing.
sick,
Mhm.
it is the worst feeling because you think you have no future. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
nice to get well.
It sure is. And that's the nature of our circular patterns or life, One thing happens and then it changes, and change is always constant. Okay, so thank you for that.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yes.
I did not know this, but I'm assuming this is your lovely bride.
Yes.
And as I sat here, we were introducing ourselves, and she mentioned that she was from Dallas area.
Yep.
Richardson, in fact, that's not
Yep.
Richardson.
Whoa.
She goes, did you go to high school there? And I said, yeah. I go, when did you graduate? She goes, 1975. And I said, so did I. So we are high school friends, new friends. Yeah. We'll talk after service and find out, some names in common, but we both graduated from the same high school the same year.
Did you know?
Yeah, yeah. We were in the same senior class.
And did y'all know each other?
300,000 in our class.
Gosh.
What's your maiden name?
Littlefield.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't fail.
Okay.
Did you know Ray Wiley Hubbard's wife before she was his wife?
Judy Stone, you remember her?
Okay. Anyway.
She was in this class too.
Yeah, she was in our class.
Well, how wonderful to meet here at this juncture.
Yeah.
That's something to be grateful for. Okay. Anyone else? Okay. Yes.
I'm grateful. I went to the Bullock Museum yesterday. It was fun. As
Mhm.
part of my celebration of my birthday. I'm grateful for my birthday. I'm grateful for the Bullock Museum experience. And I'm just grateful to have had a chance to be living this life for these 75 years. So,
Wow. Wow. Let's give all of our gratitudes a hand and wish you a happy birthday again, Bob, and thank you for that. And thank you for this place. This, to me, this is the best place that I've ever experienced. We had a lovely place on Merle Street, and I really did like that place, but it didn't last. And I hope this lasts,
I've been
it's
doing
gonna-
this for 40 years, and I intend to keep it lasting.
Okay, good. We'll ride along with you.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for those moments. And let's see. Let's go to our closing affirmation on page 7, the middle of page 7. And we'll say this together. I am an expression of infinite, divine, creative intelligence. Knowing a joyful serenity awaits my recognition and acceptance. I take this moment to deepen my understanding that I am perfect, whole, complete, and dynamic. My soul is forever established in life, love, light, power, peace, beauty, and joy. I lift my eyes to the divine and me, and those around me, and all of life. I walk out into the world with an uplifted heart and a mind open to the infinite creativity of all life. And so it is now. And I did skip the opportunity for application, which was to notice the patterns in your life. And what does not serve you and what does serve you. What else is possible? And that's the first steps toward interrupting and replacing. Okay, so please, everyone, have a safe trip home. And it's so good to see you. And were there any final thoughts?
And have some more cake.
Oh, okay. Yes, have some more cake at the back there. If your mom will let you. Okay. Thanks. All right. Love you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
So where were you at?
On last Wednesday, it was Jay Nickel. He played football.